sometimes I feel a little mad. But don't you know that no one alive can always be an angel? When things go wrong, I seem to be bad. But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. Sometimes I'm so carefree with a joy that's hard to hide. And sometimes it seems that all I have to do is worry, and then you're bound to see my other side. But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. If I seem edgy, I want you to know that I never mean to take it out on you. Life has its problems, and I get my share. And that's one thing I never meant to do, 'cause I love you. Oh, 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 baby, don't you know I'm human? I have thoughts like any other one. Sometimes I find myself alone regretting some foolish thing, some little sinful thing I've done. Just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. Yes, I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. Yes, I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. Yes, I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Yo, the name is Patty, the logic is erratic. Potato in a jacket, toys in the attic. I rock and I ramble, my brain is scrambled. Rap like an animal, but I'm a mammal.
All of our cosmetics are non-carcinogenic.
I've been brain fried, electrified, infected and injectified, vivisectified, and fed pesticide. My face is all cut up 'cause my radar's all shut up. Nurse, I need a checkup from the neck up. I'm Betty.
It seems to have no effect, Doctor.
Get me another one. Get me another animal. They used and abused me, battered and bruised me. Red wires, green wires, stuck 'em right through me. So hear my Betty word and exercise a little prudence when dealing with humans.
Phone call, Mr. Darwin, phone call.
If all the graduate students would please move closer.
Scappers.
When the electricity is applied.
More nitrous oxide,
The
Thomas.
eye makeup, when inserted
Thank you.
rectally, has some effect.
Remove the brain
If you
cap.
notice, by dipping the bat in a series of paints,
After
they do
600
experience
packs of
a
cigarettes, the animals seem to exhibit some
Mr.
carcinogenic
Pavlov,
tendencies.
white courtesy phone.
I said orally.
God, I'm reading my genitals.
I don't care what you think. You're
a
Insert
graduate
the
student. Just do
You're
it.
losing him.
All of our
seems to
cosmetics
have
are
no effect,
non-carcinogenic.
But get me another one. Get me another animal.
Look, Professor, they dance up and down just like Elvis.
Fine. If you could just put him, strap him down. If he moves, medicate him. Medicate him. Medicate him. Medicate me.
It seems to have no effect, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. Why don't you ever call me? As you see, the animals don't really feel pain. They just get used to it! Cause I'm a real fruit bat and I'm ready to rap. I'm ready to snap. I suffer from sciatica and chapped lips and jockage like a rocket in my pocket and I need to scratch. But now I can't stop it. I'm Betty. I'm Betty. I'm a real fruit bat and my logic is erratic. I'm Betty. I'm Betty. It's my Betty rap. Shave his head.
Sunday school is a place for fools. It's hot in hell, but the devil's cool. Don't keep Satan waiting. Don't keep Satan waiting. So don't just sit there, join the club. Sell your soul to Beelzebub.
Hey, everybody, it is I, Count Jackula, your favorite satanic streamer, coming at you through the waves and the grooves of the internet. And let the sin begin. I see Batty Batshit Crazy is with us. You may have noticed I played a song called The Batty Rap from Fern Gully, which, in my opinion, is the highlight of the movie. Followed by Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark's Enola Gay, a song about the plane that dropped the first atomic bomb. How's it going, Batty, Cat Hermit, Perry, and Chrome? What is up? You know, speaking of the Batty Rap, I always thought this thing would make a great Malkavian theme song for those of you who like Vampire the Masquerade.
Yo, the name is Batty, the logic is erratic. Potato in a jacket, toys in the attic. I rock and I ramble, my brain is scrambled. Rap like an animal, but I'm a mammal.
Like, one of the things I always thought was like, one of the things I always thought was kind of a missed opportunity with the Malkavians is, like, they should have been terrifying. They should have been absolutely terrifying because they should have been extremely unpredictable. You know? Like, they're fucking crazy. Yeah, there is a full Batty Rap that Robin Williams did.
Nitrous oxide, Thomas.
The eye makeup, when inserted rectally, has some effect.
Remove the brain cap.
Notice by dipping the bat in a
Yeah. The instrumentals are legit good. Like,
I said orally.
started making another playlist.
Insert the You're losing him.
Not exactly sure what it is yet, but it's something.
Fine. If you could just put him, strap him down if he moves.
You know, but like, that is actually something I actually kind of... It's one of the things that I kind of felt was like a missed opportunity. A missed opportunity with the Malkavians. Like, I felt that instead of some of the standard vampire abilities, excuse me, they should have had to have defined their madness. Like the first level is like you define the central thing, like the central thing that their madness surrounds, you know, and then you just add in more details each time you get a derangement. Like the derangements themselves actually, when possessed by the Malkavians, are actually kind of powers. But they have two sides to them. Like, bonus to this, negative to that. Yeah, I was saying how the Batty Rap probably should have been the Malkavian theme song. Yeah, and how the Malkavians, every time they got a derangement, it should have actually kind of turned into a power. But only if they have it. Everybody else, they're just completely, it's just pure mental illness. You know, but under the Malkavians, with the Malkavians, it's actually like it's actually an ability. But it's not like they don't suffer the negative effects. It's just that on top of it, they have like a little power. Kind of like kind of like how I felt the Tremere should have been just legit magicians. Legit just vampire magicians. Yeah, lose arguments with stop signs, you know. You know, maybe let the Malkavians have special derangements. You know, like it talks to you. You know, define something that talks to you. You know, like. You know, gives you a bonus on like knowledge and research rolls, but like you're constantly talking to something that no one else hears. You know, kind of like the oracles in Pathfinder. Like you've got this negative. You've got this negative thing, but like in your hands, it's also kind of the source of your power. Yeah, talking about Vampire the Masquerade, the World of Darkness in general, like there were a lot of missed opportunities in some of the recent editions. Like I was just saying about the Malkavians, or like with the Tremere, should have just been spellcasters. You know, like, no, man, they're just allowed to take legit magical powers. You know, start with the subtler, spookier ones. You know, like, I see ghosts. I talk to ghosts. I can summon spirits, you know? And then just have it get weirder and weirder. Like, to the point where it's like, oh no, you can create a gargoyle. You know, like you could just straight up create a gargoyle, because that's one of the things that they're supposedly able to do. You know, you curse people. Yeah, Tremere is so disappointing. Yeah. Yeah, and the problem with the Tremere is they never quite got the occultist part, you know? Like, for example, like, no, like, at a certain point, if you build them a certain way, a Tremere just straight up has a demon. Straight up, like, just summons a demon. It may not be, like, the most powerful demon, but it's a demon. You know, then again, like, to do that, the World of Darkness would have had to have fucking decided what hell was. Because they kept going back and forth on the nature of hell and demons. So, Vampire was a great game to play when in the first, like, 5 to 10 years that it came out. It was really good. During that period of time. Now, I gotta be honest, I think audiences want something else. Not that the World of Darkness couldn't fill that same niche, fill a similar niche, but it's only similar. It's not the same. And they went in this... A lot of it went in this very milquetoasty direction, and I didn't like that. I haven't appreciated that, because, like, how to put it, man? Like, the Children of Gaia are just kind of now like college political werewolves. It's like, oh, fuck you. You know, like, could have done something way cooler. You know, oh, the glasswalkers are like they're like the tech guys. Oh, come on. Come on. That is dumb. That is dumb. Because when I first thought about the glasswalkers, I was like, nah, the urban jungle, right? You know, the urban jungle, the fucking, city spirits. Because the world of darkness has city spirits. It's like, no, just have them deal with city spirits. Like they do the exact same thing that the werewolves do. It's just that their environment is urban. There's enough meat on that. Werewolves don't need technology. They're freaking werewolves. You want to do all the technology shit, that's mage. Yeah. The glasswalkers lost their bite. Yeah, they really did. And I was like, no, it's fucking disappointing. You know? They kind of just got rid of Get Fenris and just made them all evil, which I was like, well, I mean, like, I get it, but like, I don't know, it might have been a little bit more fun to say that the tribe had split. And I've gone on and on again about my problem with what they did to the Black Furies, because I was like, no, the Black Furies should just, no. It's women who run with wolves. Like, that was the idea. Just stick with that shit. Like, it's that whole, like, oh, well, what are the Black Furies? It's like, faster pussycat, kill. There's your starting point, Like, if you start from anywhere else, kiss my ass. Well, that's not all what feminism is. We're not talking about feminism. We're talking about where that intersects with werewolf. And if you're playing a feminist werewolf, chances are you want to kill some guys. You want to kill men. You want to kill the patriarchy. And not just and not through discussion. No, you're going to walk right up to it and rip its balls off, man. Like, come on. That's the idea. That's the idea. That's what makes it fun. Yeah, of course. I've totally played Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, I think the tone of Call of Cthulhu is actually damn near perfect. It delivers a Lovecraftian. It tells you it's going to deliver a Lovecraftian experience, and it does. It's probably one of the best RPGs that is intended to evoke a very specific feeling. Yeah. The Get Offender should have been polarizing, as opposed to just making them bad guys. It's like, no, it should be polarizing. And it should be like, no, sit with it. Like, like there should have been this aspect of, oh, yeah, a lot of what as like a Get Offender is, it's based on white supremacy. Live with it. Sit with it for a bit. Realize that there's something fucked up going on. How do you redeem that? How do you redeem that? It's sort of like, yeah, maybe you don't, like that's part of the horror. What's part of the horror of that would be, actually, you might be the problem. I didn't like the aspect of they fight for the Weaver. Because to me, like, it should have been all about, like, to me, the Glasswalkers should be about, like, it's asphalt. It's asphalt with grass growing through the cracks. You know, Mother Nature's always there. You know, always there, slowly eroding the edifices of man. You know, and that's where the Glasswalkers are. I know, Massimo. Yeah, I took a look at that Werewolf 5th edition and was not impressed. You know, not good. Like, Vampire the Masquerade 5th still has a little bit, excuse me, still has a little bit about, still has a bit of that, this is what makes being a vampire cool. You know, which I felt that Werewolf didn't. Werewolf 5th didn't have that. You know, yeah, I liked the twist that it was the Weaver that was the real problem, but like, I didn't like. Forsaken would have been really good had it been a little closer to Werewolf the Apocalypse. Like, some of those, like, Chronicles of Darkness games, some of them should have stuck a little bit closer to the previous incarnation. Like, for example, like, by the time they got to Werewolf, the Forsaken, I feel like they should have been like, okay, we're on the wrong track. You know, Vampire the Requiem is boring. Is there a good Werewolf TTRPG? Well, I mean, your mileage may vary with with Werewolf the Apocalypse, but the I think the Werewolves of Babylon are pretty good. But then again, my bias is I created that, so you know, because my opinion was that, well, what do you want to do if you're a werewolf? It's like, well, you want to turn into a giant wolf person and like tear motherfuckers apart. You know? It's like, it's the thing you want to do, you know? So let them do it. I think the other problem that Werewolf had is that well, one of the problems I had with a lot of World of Darkness games was I was like, no. You need to let people be a little bit of the bad guys. Like, they're monsters, you know. They're going to be kind of they're going to do bad stuff, you know. Some of which you would think of as evil. Yeah, but I see what you're saying about like Werewolf should be God of War's levels of epic and tragic joke here, but I also feel like it should be a very wild and bloody affair. You know, like the biggest problem that game had was the rage mechanics. You know, like that. In order to make Werewolf really sing, like really sing, to really reach its potential, it almost needed a completely different game system. Well, to me, like a Sabat game was like Near Dark. You know, bunch of really really violent and powerful vampires like kind of like moving in. And that to me was the Sabat. You know, like they're moving in like something, just because they felt like, yeah, this looks like a good spot. But not like, oh, let's just create a bunch of vampire shock troopers. Oh, come on. Really? Like, I always thought that was dumb. Like, I thought part of the horror of the Sabbat really honestly should have been that the average member of the Sabbat actually is more powerful than the average member of the Camarilla. Like, noticeably on a different power level. Yeah, I also like the idea of the curse of the werewolf, you know? Well, part of that sensation of the werewolves of Werewolf the Apocalypse being too detached from humans actually kind of comes from like the White Wolf game system. How they always arranged things into like social groups that didn't tend to mix well. In Vampire that worked. But in Werewolf it felt like no, 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 no. These guys should have found some way to get along. Like I thought that Werewolf should have been more about the pack. Yeah, less about your tribe and more about the pack. You know. Kind of like werewolves get together, like a werewolf moot should have been like the warriors. Like every werewolves are kind of organized into gangs and they kind of got their thing. It makes the pack spirits a bit more important. I was like, oh shit, they got a pack spirit. Okay, now they're for real. Think we'll ever get a proper Werewolf the Apocalypse video game? No. I don't think so. I think that game is very easy. I think that game, you could make that game, but I don't see it as happening anytime soon. Like, because we haven't made a really good werewolf video game. You see what I'm saying? Like, we have yet to make a really good werewolf video game, like of any kind of werewolf anything. Well, one of the things I thought that they kind of should have done, that they should have like kind of stuck to, was the idea that the werewolves and werewolves of the apocalypse were kind of like they were a little bit out in the sticks. You know, in areas slightly less urbanized. Bloody Roar is a werewolf video game ish. Yeah, it's that ish that's a problem. You know, like I really feel like a proper werewolf game needs to make it feel like being a werewolf is fucking awesome. Like you just rip things apart with your bare hands, you know. Like that's got to be like at the core of the experience. Like, oh, werewolves just beat that. You're just monstrous. You're just like a monstrous brick. You know, until someone shoots you with silver, you know. What a terrible night for a curse. You know. There are good werewolf levels. How can that we don't have a great werewolf game? Because yeah, kind of like the Hulk, but with fur. You know, kind of. I mean, there's probably more teeth. You know. My biggest problem with Simon's Curse is I never really understood what Simon's Curse was. Or was it Simon's Quest? Yeah, I was like, I never really understood what the quest was about. I'm like, okay, he's cursed, but what's the curse? You know? What was it? As far as I could tell, the curse was, it's nighttime now. Okay. Seems a little weird. The Weird Jack Nicholson movie? Well, Wolf is a good movie. Wolf is a good movie. Yeah, yeah, you would think a werewolf game would be pretty simple. I think part of the problem is that it's such a simple concept, like you have to stay very focused on it. You know? You know, if you're going to be a werewolf, like if you're a werewolf, you got to have something to hunt. Oh, dude, I completed Simon's Quest and I still can't tell you what that story is. I still can't tell you what the fuck was going on. It's like, I have to put the pieces of Dracula back together. Why? Okay. Yeah, it's deceptively hard to make, you know, like I didn't mind the idea of like like the creature I always thought, the beings I always thought like should be the primary like werewolf antagonist, um probably should have been like skinwalkers. You know, have the skinwalkers be like a major antagonist. Yeah, nothing beats Howling 2. It's awesome. You know. You know, like skinwalkers are in the game, but they're not like a real antagonist. And I'm like, no, they should be a real antagonist. You know. Wendigos, that's another one. Like there was the werewolf adventure I never got to run because I never got to run, which really upset me. Was it was basically werewolves in a haunted house. Like basically werewolves in Evil Dead 2. Like that was the idea. Just throw native folklore creatures against werewolves? Nah, I didn't want to do that. But the skinwalker, I think, would work. Oh, the wolfware. Yeah, I remember that from Ravenloft. Well, yeah, but like some things just extra evil, and you gotta get rid of it. You know, gotta get rid of them. Like I would have made a Wendigo. Like I would have made a Wendigo a real threat. Like it's like, oh shit, there's a Wendigo here. What does that mean? A Wendigo. Ooh, yeah. You don't. A werewolf does not fight a Wendigo. Several packs of werewolves fight a Wendigo. Yeah. Part of the idea was that yeah, there was like a they go to a house that is like there's like an old mentor werewolf that like lives in a house and she's dying and but they she wants them to meet her at like like her house, her cabin in the woods essentially. And it turns out like the cabin is like on the grounds where there used to be an old plantation that was burned down as slave revolt, but like parts of the plantation house are still there, and the ground's just gone sour. Is evil, and that's the reason why she lives there. She's supposed to be trying to keep the evil contained, and when she dies it's gonna unleash itself. And so she tries to call the young hopefuls forward in order to tell them this, but she dies before they get there. Yeah. It Yeah. Picked werewolves versus the thing from the movie Ritual. Yeah, exactly. What about a module where one werewolf is a kangaroo? No, we're not doing that. Christopher Lee, maybe, but we're not doing were marsupials. Come on, man. Kind of, well, no, not werewolf. No, really, it was Resident. It was like Evil Dead 2 with werewolves in it, with the werewolves as the main characters. You know, and it just gradually turns into Resident Evil. But instead of mad science, it's like, demons and magic and, evil gods and things like that. Entities of the worm. And that was like another thing. I always felt like I thought that the things of the worm should be a little bit more like Old Gods of Appalachia. I didn't have that. I didn't have that to draw from at the time, but like that's what I was envisioning. Yeah, the Apostles from Berserk. Yeah. I haven't checked out the Absolute DC titles. I don't even know what they are. I am thinking of checking out this game that came out last year called Pacific Drive. Well, my brother recommended it, so I'm like, drive around, collect parts, deal with the paranormal, Queen of the Damned. It's a very pretty movie. Both pretty and shallow, like I feel like it exists on the opposite end of the spectrum as The Crow, as far as like goth movies are concerned. Like The Crow is really, 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 really beautiful and deep. Queen of the Damned is very, very, very pretty and shallow as fuck. Brad Dourif makes a robot. Don't know what that. Oh, that's Oh fuck. Death Machine. Death Machine. The title you're looking for is Death Machine. Have you ever seen Repo the Genetic Opera? Yes. I've seen it once. I was really drunk, so I don't remember most of it. I remember a little glass vial, a little glass vial, a little glass vial. Oh, the pumpkin mug. Yeah, I got this from like a Starbucks years ago. Absolute DC is a new alternate universe. I have no idea. I did see that Creature Commandos though. That show was awesome. I'm kind of annoyed that like I couldn't just binge watch the whole goddamn thing. I gotta wait for it to like fucking trickle down. Because I'm just sort of like, oh, come on, man. Again, I'm getting a little tired of these streaming services like doing that. I'm missing the old Netflix model of like, hey man, just have a show. Because, like, my problem is this, is like when I sit down and watch something, that's probably the chunk of time that I have to watch it. Otherwise, like, I move on to I watch something for a half hour, move on to something else. Like, not entertainment wise, I mean, like, I literally will do something else once it's over, and I'll forget to go back to it. Like, I did that with Andor. Like, I was really liking Andor, but every episode's like an hour. But every episode was like an hour, and then I had to wait for the next, week, and there are like 3 or 4 shows I'm actually watching right now, and I'm a little annoyed because I want to finish one of them. But I can't because not all the episodes are out yet. The release, oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Secret Level doesn't. That's not like. It's not really doing it for me. I mean, like, I get it. You want to see a Mega Man short film, but
that's still me. Now that's who I fight. Every hour, every day. I don't always win.
How much would you risk? How hard would you fight? How many lives?
Yeah, it's just not scratching the same itch for me.
To discover what you're capable of.
Every moment leads to the next. Every cause and every effect. That's impossible. Doesn't matter what I made you for. This is what you were meant for. Conquest awaits.
Like, I'm just gonna have to wait and see what other people say about this one, because I'm just not really feeling it. Like, I'm afraid that what we're gonna get is a bunch of really, really standard stories that, quite frankly, we've seen before.
All that danger, all those moments, beauty, and even all those painful.
Like the 40K one will just be a big fight scene. We kind of know the story of Mega Man, so anything you give me in a short film is probably just going to be that. Like, that's what I'm afraid of, because I'm just like, yeah, but I know these properties already. Like, I don't think I care. Like, what are you going to give me in 20 minutes I didn't get from each of these video games playing it? You know, it's just like I'm expecting it's just gonna be Advent Children again, and I'm just gonna be like, fuck this. You know, like who gives a shit. You know, so I have to hope it's good and other people tell me because like I just don't give a shit. Yeah, the animation's impressive, but so what? You know, there's a lot of see, I'm not expecting good things out of this. You know, I'm expecting a lot of shit I've seen before. You know, I could be wrong. Like I could be wrong, but like I'm going to wait for people that I trust to tell me, "Oh no, it's really good." You know, people I trust say, "Dude, you got to see this thing." Then yeah, it could be the Animatrix all over again. You know, I just yes, yeah, Advent Children was your intro to Final Fantasy VII. I am sorry. I am so sorry. You must have been so lost. Oh, because I had played Final Fantasy VII through like multiple times. I still couldn't tell you what was happening in Advent Children. Like I knew that lore inside and out, and I was still like, huh? You know, like what's going on? Why do I care about this guy? Who is that? You know. Oh, your intros with Spirits Within? Ooh. Ooh. That kind of hurts. Not the worst movie, but a really bad Final Fantasy movie. And honestly, I think this thing is being made for people who are fans of video games in a way that I am not. You understand what's happening, but lore-wise, I was wondering if it made sense. If you squinted real hard. You saw it said Pluto Nash. Oh. No, very different. The show Pluto is very different from Pluto Nash. They both got robots. That's about the only thing they have in common. And an Outer Worlds short? Outer Worlds, really? You know, like that. Like the irony being, if you just made like a Mega Man animated movie, I might watch that. Like I would actually want to watch that. Okay, what was that other trailer y'all someone was mentioning? Oh, the new Lupin movie, right. I'm assuming you don't mean the Netflix show. Um, Yeah, Lupin the Third. Yeah. I got that it was Lupin the Third, but like, okay, when is this supposed to come out? Like 2024? Let me see if I put in 2024. Maybe there's. Watch on YouTube. Come on, give me the date this fucking thing exists. 10 days ago. Okay, this has got to be it then.
Lupin のやつ手間かけさせやがって。ルパン三世をこの手で捕まえる。ルパン三世はそれがしの獲物。
私の知ってるルパンじゃないわ。
わざわざ俺を追ってきたっていうのか。今まで俺は散々命を狙われてきたが、今度の殺し屋は国だ。
先にしくじったやつが偉そうに言うな。で、どうすんだ。
お互い命日にならないことを祈りましょう。
お主の目的は何だ。ルパン三世をこの手で捕まえる。これは俺にしかできない任務だ。
ワン、ツー、スリー。別に俺たちは正義の味方じゃねえ。
Okay, I mean, it's got promise. Better have this, I'll tell you that. I wonder if I could find the remix albums. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the DJ battles. No, that ain't it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, here we go. Thoughts on the Indiana Jones game? Ain't played it. I actually own this album. Somewhere in my CD case. my favorite Lupin movie is still Castle Cagliostro. Oh, my favorite Lupin suit? Probably the red one. Oh yeah, there are a ton of Lupin movies, but Castle Cagliostro is definitely my favorite. I wonder. It's not on Spotify. Ah, that's too bad. see if I can. Oh, come on. So hard to find these things now. I had a really good mix of the Afro Loop and 6/8 theme.
But apparently can't find it.
That's really too bad. Yeah, I guess I'd have to pull it out of my have you heard about the Satanic Panic on Memphis hip hop in the 90s? Not specifically, no. Or are you talking about the West Memphis 6? Or the West Memphis 3? Sorry. If you're talking about the West Memphis 3, yeah, I know all about that. Yeah, West Memphis 3, like the Memphis Rap Sigils, those that groups like 3-6 Mafia to the West Memphis. Oh my God. The Memphis Rap Sigils. What the fuck? Now this I didn't hear about. The phenomena of the Memphis Rap Sigils.
Breaking and entering, burglary, personage, shoplifting, vandalism, possession of stolen property, possession and distribution of narcotics, illegal possession of weapons, assaulting a police officer, larceny and
I'm liking this so far.
Tommy right straight out of Four Corners, Pippinville. Got my niggas team on the me and these motherfuckers. Name of this tape called Wanted Dead or Alive. Cause this how real niggas feel. Niggas that's robbing motherfuckers for real. Niggas that's kicking in doors, blasting motherfuckers for real. Ain't none of that fake shit like on these other bust ass niggas tape. You know who I'm talking about. You don't look out for that Princess Logo solo tape. Coming out in 2 weeks. It's called Ho Never, Gangsta Forever. Straight out street smart rock.
What you are about to hear is a profile of one of the most notorious criminals in the world.
Tommy Wright the third. Team Wanted Men. This for you busters. Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. 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 Don't start no shit, won't be.
Okay, I'm kind of liking that one. Let's see. How Memphis rap tapes in the 90s spawned a chilling legend. In 1989, Mind of a Lunatic, Ghetto Boys MC Scarface depicted a nightmare scenario in which he was kept awake at night by visions of the bodies he dismembered. 6 years later on Shock Ones Part 2, Mobb Deep's prodigy threatened to stab someone in the brain with their nose bone. That same year, however, Mystic Styles, Memphis group 3-6 Mafia's Lord, Infamous, described torture chambers filled with corpses in my basement in what can best be described as an incantation to Satan. Cool. Mystic Styles, released in 1995, is regarded as a blueprint for the horrorcore rap, later paid tribute by groups like Clip It. Its violent satanic imagery, as well as DJ Paul's liberal use of horror film scores, samples of reflections of the group's own love of scary movies as much as the real-life violence happening in their home city. But by the time the album came out, Memphis's hip-hop scene was already in the midst of a prolific period of activity, such as with blah, blah, blah. Memphis rap, blah, blah, blah. The myth of the rap is, here we go, which is exactly what the legend sprung from. Let's see. Early 90s Memphis rap had been likened to the hip-hop equivalent of the second wave of black metal, both for the crackling lo-fi sound of the music and the darkness within it. There's just something unnerving about the sound of so many of these releases, which while sometimes as campy and as catchy as they are tense, are given a spectral cloak via the unpolished nature of their sound quality. It also feels appropriate that most of these recordings were released via cassette and not CD or vinyl. CDs are convenient and records are more classicists. Don't make up a word. Don't make up a word. Classicist. Don't make up words, man. We have enough words in the English language. Just use those. But tapes are more prone to warping, tangling, and mechanical mishaps. The more fucked up and damaged a tape is somehow, it only adds the overall effect of these artifacts being possessed by sinister spirits, which is exactly what a legend sprung from the least credible corners of the internet seems to claim. The legend of the Memphis rap sigils has shown up on the oft-passed-around rap conspiracy iceberg, which ranges from the actually true to the ridiculous. Hold on. Which ranges from the actually true Wu-Tang FBI files to the ridiculous Aaliyah Amelia Earhart reincarnation. We were just talking about Queen of the Damned, so that's interesting. Aaliyah is the reincarnation of Amelia Earhart? The fuck? What, just because they both died in planes? To the Picasso baby spirit cooking. All right, you just totally lost me on that one. This particular legend seems to have emerged from the 4chan/X archives as a strange version of a telephone game, which eventually resulted in the idea that there are 8 tapes from the Memphis rappers of the 90s that have captured the soul energy of murdered people as some kind of Luciferian ritual, as the X-Files of rap blogs summarizes. The soul energy, per chaos magic practice, is then made into a symbol to bring about the practitioner's desired outcome. And apparently, this energy is only charged when you listen to it on the original cassettes and not on YouTube or Spotify. The myth of the Memphis rap sigils, this is really 90s. The myth of the Memphis rap sigils involves 8 specific tapes, 10 wanted men's wanted, Dead or Alive, Children of the Corns, the single, Maniacs, The World of a Psycho, Lil Ramsey's Going Undercover, HOH's Living in a Casket, NOD's Niggas of Destruction, Mr. Tinnimane's Last Man Standing, and Psycho's The Return of Psycho. And if you were to listen to these tapes after midnight in a cemetery after a few intoxicants, well, sure, it might take much convincing to believe. It might not take much convincing to believe these are, in fact, items of dark magic that could bring about some kind of wizardry for the bowels of hell. Huh. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Classicist, like, come on, that sounds a little pretentious. Yeah. But it's still like a cool, like, little legend, assemble these 10 tapes together and summon a demon band, like I can get into an urban legend like that. That sounds fun. Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. I had no idea about that. I had never heard of that. Yeah, I learn something new every day. Every day. Oh my God. Yeah, and of course 4chan, like, of course. Now it's all Reddit, Yeah, now it's all Reddit and shit. Like, I don't know what to do, What is it about, like, message boards, man? What is it about message boards that breeds this stuff? Like, I find that utterly fascinating. They're like the shadow of the internet, or the collective unconscious of the internet, these message boards. And I never, like, I used to use them, but, like, every time I try to go back to one of these things, like Reddit, like, I have a Reddit account, but, like, I don't. I'm never able to dredge this stuff up, whenever I go exploring. And I think it might be because I'm just too familiar with people, and the dumb shit that they do. Like, maybe I'm just too skeptical for my own good when I fucking, like, swim in those waters. Well, this is what I'm talking about is, like, that's where you find, like, the stuff that's brewing under the surface is places like Reddit. Good or bad. But, like, I don't tend to find it. And maybe it's because I got this attitude of let me know when you got something. Because I was burned so many times on them creepypastas. I was like, oh, let me guess. He's right behind you. Too many fucking, like, posts about Slender Man and Five Nights at Freddy's. And I just like, oh my God. Stop. Too many, like, badly written, too many badly written creepypastas and shit like that. I'm just like, ugh. By the time I run anything good, by the time I find that perfect rose in this mountain of shit, am I going to have a sense of smell? Well, what really destroyed 4chan, what really destroyed 4chan was also the thing that destroyed Something Awful. Like the Something Awful forum was already like on the decline, but what really put those nails in the coffin was Gamergate. You know, so much so that actually the collapse of both of those sites might actually give us insight to what's about to happen in America, since it's so heavily influenced by it. You know, like our current political situation is super influenced by Gamergate. Super influenced. All it took, it was a perfect storm of shit. It was an absolute perfect storm of shit. You know, I stand by what I said when it happened, which is like, you're either going to have to you either let it pass or you get stuck in, you know, and prepare for a fight. Like a fight, you know, definitely a fight of words and shit for the most part, but a fight. Like, you're not going to, it's a war. You know? Worst thing game journalism could have ever done is get involved. Because the minute they got involved, everyone knew about it. And that was the worst outcome. That was absolutely the worst outcome. Oh, talking about Gamergate and how it relates to our current situation. You know, the minute that article about Gamer is Dead came out, I was like, fuck. Well, this isn't going to go nuclear. And then it went nuclear. So I was like, you're going to catch a bunch of people that don't agree with this shit. And now you've put up a fucking border that puts everybody else but you on the other side. You can't win. You're not going to win this one. You can only destroy each other at that point. And they did. They did. Gamergate pretty much wrecked everything that it touched. It was like, it was toxic. It was like toxic waste. It just ruined everything. You know, and you couldn't explain to people like, no, don't go in there. That's toxic waste. Oh, but we got to do something. Yeah. Don't get involved. It's toxic. Don't touch it. It's toxic waste. It is unfortunately going to do what it is going to do because there is no way we can clean it up while the fucking funnel of toxic waste is still spewing at full speed. The only people that could put a lid on this already failed, and now that they've failed, it is now impossible. Now it's like a curse. It's got to run its course. There's nothing we can do about it, so stop feeding it. Yeah, the only way to win was to not play. It was the only, I wouldn't even say it was the left. It was just the Gamergators and the anti-Gamergators. That was it. That's how you got to see it. That's how you got to see it, because it was basically it was bad, man. It was bad. It was real bad. The internet just lost its goddamn monkey mind. You know, over a post about some guy bitching about a shitty girlfriend. Really? You know, and it was one of those, like, shouldn't have reacted to it. That's you're trying to put out fires with gasoline, man. Gonna burn the whole house down. And they did. I got into an argument with a guy. He was like, I hate Gamergate. It makes it really hard to be a games journalist. I am like, what are you talking about? Are you still working? If you're still working, can't be that hard. You guys are puffed up on your own self-importance anyway. Games journalism. You bought into that? No. You are a paid PR piece for the AAA industry. That is what you are. Do you not realize that is what you are? That is absolutely where you are. That is what you are. That is where the money comes from. That's who pays you. Was it Kyle? No, it wasn't Kyle. It wasn't Kyle. No. This was an actual, like, guy who worked at, like, I forget which one it was, but he worked at, like, Kotaku or something. You know. Yeah. You know, and I hope James Stephanie Sterling is doing great, but, like, don't watch him. I don't watch them. You know, there's only so much bullshit I can stand. There's a lot of bullshit that comes over out of all those people. All of them. Didn't matter what side. Because it became about the fight itself. And at that point, you're like, I'm out, man. Because I don't like either one of you. I'm politically aligned with anti-Gamergate, but, like, I actually hate you all as people. I don't like you as people. Nah, I don't care for Sterling's content anymore. You know, I just got tired of it. I realized I didn't care that much about video games. I didn't really care that much about the politics of video games. I really didn't. Actually, better way of putting it, I didn't care that much about the politics of making video games. I thought the politics of making video games was really, really, really boring. And plus, I didn't have a dog in that race. I didn't work in the industry anymore. And even when I did, I didn't really have a dog in that race. You know, I didn't have a dog in the race, you know, because it was one of those things where it was like, I'll give Gamergate this. Yeah, they were getting shit on. They weren't wrong about that. I blame them for everything else, though. I blame them for falling for that troll. But then again, I blame the other side, too. They also fell for it. Oh, we need to do something. Why? Oh, well, they're... You know, well, they're saying these horrible things. I'm like, yeah, but nobody cares. But nobody out directly outside of the argument cares right now. If you make them care, then they'll care. And this will continue. And it did. You know, it continued, and it got worse. It infected the whole political discourse. It became about grievances, for God's sake. It was all about some people's grievance about not getting laid. That was at the core of it. It's like, give it up, homie. You don't have to be that guy anymore. Why are you doing this? Like, what was that one guy's name? Not Sargon. But, I mean, he was one of them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he had nothing to do with it. He had everything to do with it. But, like, there was another guy called Matt something or other. I think it was Mundane Matt or something. I think was his name. I could be wrong. But there was, like, this guy named Matt who's hanging around Sargon. That guy was just an idiot. That guy was a special kind of idiot. And we're seeing the results of that fucking culture war today. Especially on YouTube. Yeah, Gamergate is a maggot-infested piece of meat left outside for too long till somebody tried to eat it. Yeah. And now we have the unkillable meme of Heels versus Babyface screaming into the ether about pronouns. Yeah. When the left has moved on from that argument. It's moved on. Yeah, some people can't leave 2016. Yeah, exactly. You know, and over like... Oh, yeah, it was a total grift. It became a total grift. And like... the people Gamergate really hated, that they really piled up on, they were irrelevant to start with. They only had their relevance because Gamergate hated them so much. You know, how do I know? Because after that, they disappeared. After that, they disappeared. They did what did Zoe Quinn do after Gamergate? What did Anita Sarkeesian make after Gamergate? Now, don't get me wrong. Like the fucking Gamergaters, like they lost their relevance too. Like they lost their relevance too, because it was like, it was a flash in the pan, you know, like. It's all done. Oh no, some feminist is like talking about how video games are sexist. My initial response was, well, yeah. And then I watched her videos and I'm like, wow, these suck. These are bad. These are bad essays. The only reason anyone's paying attention to them is because it became a flashpoint. You know, it was definitely one of those. She had her opinion before she started researching, and then she continued to research, and her opinion didn't adjust. And I didn't even think she was necessarily wrong. But then she would say something, be like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, look, sexy women are still in games, because of course they are. Because of course they would be. No one likes the guy with the waifu. He's weird. The new grift of Gamergate, Jamboree. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it was all hype about nothing. Nothing anyone fought for changed. Yeah. Yeah. What is the Anita season doing now? I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care to know. You know, it's out of sight, out of mind. Despite me being a leftist, she was the kind of feminist that I never got along with, that I always had arguments with. You know, where I was like, well, no, you're taking this in a direction that's filled with loony bin shit. Now, and here's what I mean by like everything that happened in Gamergate we're still dealing with. Like, let's take it from the other side. Let's take it from the anti-Gamergate side. What was the big thing being argued then? Oh, gender doesn't exist. Bullshit. We may not know what it is, but there is a there. There is a thing there. Even if it's just an illusion, we have to fucking admit that it's a damn persistent one. Can't tell me gender doesn't exist in a world that has transsexuals. If gender didn't really exist, then there would be there'd be that would be a non-issue. No one would even notice it. No one would notice it for it to be a culture war fucking point. You know, then the turf shit started coming out. I don't know about from Anita, but like just. And I knew that turf shit was there. I've been using the term turf since 1998. You know, all of a sudden it was like 2018, 2020, and people started saying turf. And I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what that is. Where have you guys been? Like, if gender didn't matter, my wife wouldn't have bothered getting a tit job for gender affirmation. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things. It's like, it's different to say that it is in the mind than it is to say it's not real. Because you're just pushing aside a whole group of people. And you're pushing a whole group of people out for that. And I had watched feminism do this before. And not every type, and not every form of feminism either. You know, the whole like woman enough, that is also from feminism. The understanding also came from that place, but there were sections of it that were very, very, very much against it. You know? And in an effort to avoid having a 2016 election environment, we absolutely created a 2016 election environment. But on that, I'm just now like, well, whatever. Now it's just going to be whatever it's going to be. What is that? Don't know. You know, we got the worst outcomes. We know the worst outcomes. So I guess anything shy of that is good news. Yeah, and I actually disagreed with the term misogynist. I thought it was too loaded. It was too loaded and too easily argued against. Whereas sexist, much simpler, much less loaded, much harder to argue against. Because it's a step, it's taking that extra step. It's going like, misogynist implies that they hate women. And while that may be true, you're going to lose a lot of people that way. Because there are some people who are just kind of sexist that you wouldn't necessarily call misogynists. You know, just like there's a difference between someone who's being racist and a person who's like an actual white supremacist. Like, misogyny is the gender equivalent of calling someone a Klan member. Dial it back a little bit. Probably we'll get a lot farther. Something about Jubilee. What the hell's Jubilee? Uh, 50 girls rank 5 guys, gay or straight. Who's the fake grandma? I have no idea. Okay, clearly I'm not going to get an answer from YouTube. All right, that's Jesus. What is it? So what's Jubilee? Since I don't think looking at YouTube's going to give me the answer. Oh, is it like a website? Oh, is it one of those clickbaity website things? Oh, fuck that. Who cares? Who needs that shit? Yeah, you're now right. Your brain. You know what? That Creature Commandos is really good. Just get back on something like that. I like how they made Frankenstein like this gloomy goth guy stalker. We're just sort of like, yo. You know, the bride calls him a selfish asshole because you're like, well, yeah. Jubilee sets up a lot of false equivalent kind of debates. Oh, fuck that shit. Yeah, everyone's undereducated, but information is so... Yeah, it's because they flooded the zone with shit. You know? Steve Bannon got his way. Flood the zone with shit so people don't know what's real and what's not. So my solution to that is, fuck it, get out the pool. Get out the pool, it's gone septic. Yeah, seems about right for Frankenstein's monster. Yeah. The fact that it's David Harbour is fucking great. Yeah, maybe they should have had more like lyrics to this song at the end here, but you know, whatever. Yeah, I know adults your own age can barely read or write in an intelligent manner. Ugh. God, yeah. I was actually talking about this with my brother earlier. And how much of a death cult the Republican Party has become. And people are really starting to recognize it because they're disengaging from it. They're disengaging from their Trump relatives and things like that, disengaging from Trump conversations because they realize, instinctually, they're in a death spiral. And you do not want to be involved in a death spiral because it only goes one way. It only goes one way. And trust me, they're going to try, and they're going to try to drag everyone down with them. You know, they are at the point where it's like, even if those hands are there to try to get out, rather than pull people down, can't touch it. Can't touch it. No, you got to get yourself out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, can't take the risk anymore. Because now it's not an emotional risk. You turned an emotional fight into a political one. No, done. Done. We're talking about putting people in camps and deporting them. They've been talking about that for the last like 8 years. And that wasn't enough? No, can't touch you. Can't touch you. Can't touch you, won't even try. There are other people who will not attempt, who are not going to attempt to drag me down into a death spiral. And the most horrifying thing, the most tragic, no one cares about them. No one cares about them. Because they can't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's the thing that is so tragic. You know, we might feel bad for them, but there's too much bad that they've done. Your redemption is between you and God now. You know, that's not a great position to be in. And why? Why is there so little sympathy? Simple. Because they could choose to not be there. They could choose to not be there. Their lives would be better. They would be better off. They would be better off financially and emotionally. Way better off. No, they have to cling to the old ways. So now the struggle is against how far, who's going to get pulled into the death spiral with them. That's why people are pulling away, because they instinctually realize this. Oh, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere for them to go, and they'll just pull us in.
Blackheart, thanks for always streaming, Jack.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome, Daniel. Thank you for the donation. May Satan help you gain all the material wealth that you care for, you care to have, and help you get laid if that's something you're into. You know, the truth is that white working class America is an identity, and it's an identity they're going to hold fast to, even if they would be better off letting go. Some of them will escape. That will be the good news. Some of them will escape. How to put it? Beastie.
Well, throw it in when it feeds your head. Throw it in. Throw it in. All right. Rabbit. Run.
You know, it's adjust or die for them. Because where are they gonna go? Enough of the society is now against them. There are more people against them now than in the days of the 60s race riots. And it's only gonna get more so.
The Olympic Peninsula, the crown jewel of the Pacific.
The fuck was that?
Pacific Northwest.
The fuck? Okay, that was weird.
Back off! I may have.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that to Yogi once. Real high. Actually, what am I saying? Classman, I think you were there. Oh. Felt bad the guy they suspect killing the guy got arrested. Well, no.
Unmatched views and
The fuck is going on? The fuck is that coming from? Yeah, my computer's haunted, man. I think there's some automatic shit happening that shouldn't. Oh, well. You know, they've got to break them. But anyway, point is, they got to break themselves out of this. You know, the tragedy, but part of the tragedy is, yeah, it will require them to get rid of that identity, to get rid of the white working class identity. That's what it requires. You know? Yep. The only reason the cop showed that picture and said he took off the mask in order to flirt with the waitress because the cop's only chance was if the guy had a girlfriend. Thumbs up their asses. Thumbs up their asses. I wonder if this will turn into a Jack the Ripper type legend. No idea what to do. There's only more to come. That's the other thing, baby. That's the other thing, baby. We're on a collision course for a revolution. A bloody one. You got two choices, baby. You could either head for that bloody revolution when it's guillotines for real, or you could hit the brakes on this extreme capitalism. But that's probably not going to happen. Not anytime soon. Jack the Ripper or Robin Hood? Ah, good point. Good point, Flashman. Yeah, it could be a Robin Hood situation. You know? It's gonna get interesting. It's gonna get even more interesting because basically Israel's decided it's just gonna go to war. If there was a patron god for conservatives other than God or Jesus, Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth. The demiurge of Gnosticism. That would be it.
Quiet solitude offer.
It did it again. The fuck? Yeah, thoughts and prayers are not covered in network. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. You know, the world may have two order. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Oh, you know, no doubt about it. I don't know if I'm ready for it, but then again, are any of us ever? You know? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Luigi guy that they have is probably not their dude. You know, that's just my suspicion, though. Maybe they got something, but I'm like, we're getting pretty far along. You know? Yeah, it makes all the sense of the world. Yeah, right. Let go of your sexism and your racism. Let go. You know, because what they're really upset about is that their small town rural way of living is disappearing. Because If it's going to survive in any form, it has to fundamentally change. It has to. There's no other way out. They can't make a minor change. They have to make a major shift. You know, and that major shift could simply be to engage further in capitalism. Like, that might actually work for them. And I think that's what they're trying to do. But the problem is that that's a game they can't win. That's a game they can't win because all the hypercapitalists already got everything. Yeah, free healthcare forever. I would totally be into that. You know, like living in a small town personally due to people. Yeah, they're paranoid in the small town. Yeah, they're very paranoid because they have a siege mentality. You know, everything is trying to change them. And the fact of the matter is, yeah, they're right. Everything is trying to change them. But it's because it needs to change. There's no way around it. You know, either they stop being a small town. They stop being, it stops being rural white America no matter what happens. You know, no matter what change happens, it ends that. You know, that's why they're in a death spiral. Either their concept of what rural America is changes, or it changes. I don't know how else to put it. Like, there's no way it can't stay the same, and they know this. Like, that particular way of life and the way it's done is reaching its end point. Just like feudalism reached its end point. Just like capitalism will reach its end point. Hey, no. Drop it. Drop. Okay, come up here. Come up here. Come here. Come here. Whoop. Come here. Oh, no, he walked off in shame. I can't have him eating old tissues. Ugh. Yeah, this isn't the Middle Ages. Small towns can't be self-sustaining anymore without big capital. Exactly. Exactly. Like, all the money that was going into rural America, while I wouldn't say that it was enough money, it was something. But now they're rejecting that. You know, because they want to be self-sufficient, which makes sense, except, like, they aren't. You know, you're offering a pole to a drowning person, and they're saying, no, I'll make it on my own. No, you won't. You know, like, no, you won't. You're drowning. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, Daniel. Like, no one wants to stay there. Why? Because it's awful. Because if you aren't lockstep in that idea of white rural American identity, Well, there's nothing there for you. There's nothing there for you. Like, what are you going to do? Kill yourself? You know, like, no. Most people are not going to do that. They're going to leave. And mom moved away from the big city only to still go work there because the money is bigger and better benefits. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. There's no capital in the rural area. You can't get richer in an environment where money is only leaving. Yeah. Hey, Brian Lawson, thank you for the update. Thank you for the donation. Rock on, hail Satan. May all the material goods you wish come to you and you get laid. Hail Satan. But yeah, that's where it's at. That's the situation they're in. Rural white America must change if there is going to be, if it's going to survive at all. Now, rural America,
in their fervent pursuit of keeping things the same during their lifetime, they've doomed said way of life to oblivion.
yeah,
It will die.
it will die with the, yes, exactly, Yushify. And thank you for the donation. May all the material goods of this world be yours and you get laid. If you're into that kind of thing, as per usual. But yeah, no, that's it. That's it. They're trying to keep things the same during their lifetime, and it's doomed it to oblivion. You know, that's the real death that they're experiencing. You know, and of course, like, the reality is they don't have to do this. It's a choice. I don't see it that way. You know, they don't want to become like, they don't want to talk about equity or stake or anything like that, because that's a game they always lose. You know, they can't play it as well as, well, the city folk and the tech folk. You know, like, for example, like, if you're in the tech industry and no one gives you stake in the company, you just go somewhere else. You know, the grass really is greener. And there are things that we could do to keep it from being that way, but the things wrapped up in that identity prevent it from happening. Like I said, government aid. You know, oh, we won't accept money from blue states. Where are you planning on getting the extra money from? Oh, well, we'll make it somehow. We need to be self-sufficient. But you're not now, and the debt is rising. What Like, that's an attitude that's going to have to go away. You know? Yeah, living off the grid, being self-sufficient. No, fuck that. Fuck all that. COVID proved to me that all those people were playing. Because that should have been their moment. That should have been their moment. But no, it was a hoax. Motherfucker, you talking about you preparing for the end of the world and Captain Trips is like fucking walking down the street. Like, what the hell? That's a Stand reference for all you Stephen King fans out there. You know, like, oh, holy shit. You're not gonna... I thought you guys were going to head for the hills, be like, well, I got my bunker. Fuck y'all. Boom. That's what I thought was going to happen. Because I believed you. I believed that you believed in this. Nope. Oh. Then this is all horse shit. Horse shit. Prepping, going off the grid, horse shit. Yeah. Small town, you have a factory in place, but no good stores to keep people and a dead mall. Yeah. Well, that's another thing. You could revitalize a lot of rural towns just by letting outsiders in. You could revitalize it, but they don't even want that change. They don't want that change. Well, guess you up shit creek. Oh, man. Yeah. Whining about wearing masks and shit. I was like, this is your deal, man. I thought this was your thing. I expected to see every prepper up there, like, looking like they walked out of fucking Chernobyl and shit. You know, like with a mask on, just being like, oh, whatever. I ain't getting no COVID, you sons of bitches. You know, like, that's what I expected. You know, but no. So what's this all about, really? Oh, you're a free thinker. Yeah, real original thought there. Jack New is bad. Oh, yeah, I knew he was bad. Oh, my God. Well, like, yeah, like, yeah, shopping mall, the Mecca capitalism invented by a communist. Yeah. Yeah. There are places that are going to make it work. There are places that are going to make it work, you know? Like, you could totally, like... I'm sure you could do something where it's like, okay, the city, the town, the state is going to buy that land back. We're going to buy that land back, and then we're going to do something with it. Like, that's a capitalist approach that is open. It won't work in every situation because, you know, people are greedy. But, like, it's worth trying, right? A lot of these places missed their shot because they didn't want public transportation. And it's like, well, how you gonna get new people in here? Because money's got to come from somewhere, and it ain't here. You know? Oh, well. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. It won't be a total, it won't be a, it'll be apocalyptic, but it won't be like a complete loss. You know, some of those places are near like farmland, right? Oh, he's going to need farmland. You know, like I see it all always here in California, where it's like, I mean, I get mad at like California-born like Trump supporters because it's like, you ingrates, you fucking ingrates, like you have the privilege and benefit of being in California. You're going to be taken care of because you're being taken care of now. But then again, that's why we're a blue state, not a red one. Oh, coal's going to make a comeback? Yeah, no, forget it, man. Nah. Nah, those battery factories in Kentucky and Tennessee, that's where it's going to go. That's where the money's going to go, if anywhere. Yeah, a lot of Trumpers are fucking Okies. You know, it's too bad. Yeah, my dad's high school friends are California ingrates. Yep. Yep. Oh, man. You could literally make a capitalist argument for public transit. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep, no, it's a government project. Can't have that. It's like, well, you can't be isolationist, man, and want money. I mean, like, if you're okay with the money you got, no problem. But if you want more of that money, you got to make some changes. You know, and protectionism won't work because Americans ain't buying. Americans ain't buying that coal. What we talk about? Let's see. A lot of those shitty Californians are moving out of state anyway. Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, it's terrible out here. We're like, we told you. We told you. Yeah. Being priced out is one thing, you know. Like that I have more than sympathy for. You know. You know, is Russia even buying coal? I don't know, man. Yeah, tariffing our allies. Oh, that's going to be a shit show. Yeah. Yeah, our three biggest trading partners. Yeah, we're going to tariff them. Yeah, that sounds like a brilliant idea. Oh, man. All right. I think that's good for tonight. I think I'm going to go in. I think I'm going to go. Now, remember to take care of yourselves and take care of the people around you, okay? Yeah, no one else is going to do it. So until next time. Oh, I want to thank Yishify, Daniel, and Brian Lawson for their generous donations. These donations are what keep the stream going. Thank you very much. I appreciate being able to keep the stream going. Yeah, price tag is one thing, but there are quote-unquote Californians who moved to Oregon or Texas because it fit their values. You know, you just say, oh, come on. You know, and then they all of a sudden realize...
Everything you need in the most beautiful place on Earth.
Wait, what? Hold on. Turns out that shit has something to do with Discord. The shit? Yeah, I did get your message on Discord, Flashman. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I don't know if we have any specific plans. But once I know, I'll let you know. All right. So until next time, fuckers. Ave Satanas, Disco Inferno. Satan and I love you all very much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your friends. I will see you tomorrow.